Hello and welcome to the first episode of Closet Cosplay, the podcast where we help you create con-worthy cosplays on a closet budget. I'm LJ.
And I'm Michelle, and today we're going to be sharing with you guys some of our favorite closet cosplays that we've done in the past.
First up, we'll be discussing Vax from Critical Role, followed by Persephone from Lore Olympus.
If you'd like to follow along with us, check out our show notes for galleries, links, and resources. First up, we have Vax from the first season of Critical Role.
Now, I actually don't know anything about Critical Role or Vax, but I have seen the picture, so if you could just get a little bit of context for me personally.
It is a tragedy to me that you have never seen Critical Role, first of all.
I know.
And for all the critters out there, I apologize. I will get LJ to watch Critical Role. But Critical Role is a YouTube show where nerdy-ass voice actors, that's their intro, play Dungeons & Dragons, and it's really awesome. So Vax is played by Liam O'Brien, and he's a rogue. He's a half-elven rogue.
He's also appreciate that.
Yes, he's also a twin. So he has a twin in the game played by Laura Bailey. Her name is Vex. Super cute. So essentially, the cosplay that I did was not actually of Vax. It was of an artist's interpretation of Vax, which I would describe as Bird Dad.
Bird Dad?
Yeah.
All right, I'm listening.
Okay, so now Bird Dad is essentially Casey Beta is the artist.
Okay.
It can be found at Sketching Sparrow on Twitter. She's an incredible artist, and I love her art style because it is just so full of color, and it just pulls you in. There's something about it that just pulls you in. But she did an art piece of Bird Dad, which to me is essentially a melding of Vax the character and Liam the player. So he always wears these like dad cardigans, you know what I mean? Like when he sits at the table. So, and I love a good cardigan myself.
Fair enough.
They're super cozy. So this art piece, which we have a link to in our show notes, but this art piece was Vax in like a dad sweater cardigan type deal, super casual. Mm-hmm. And when I first saw it, I was like, I love that. And so what inspired me basically was a trip to Old Navy.
Of where all great cosplays start.
Of where all great cosplays start. So I walked into Old Navy, and I have a habit of going to the men's section because they will sell you a sweater for a penny, which is insane. And in the women's section, you'd have to pay $5 for it. So I was in the men's section, the clearance section, and there was a cardigan that was this kind of dark blue to a faded, like light blue or gray.
Kind of like an ombre look.
Yeah,
to it.
so
Nice.
It had that really pretty color, kind of ombre type detail that Casey uses a lot in her art, or that kind of reminded me of her art, and it reminded me of that specific art piece. So I thought to myself, I'm going to buy this cardigan, and I'm going to do that cosplay because it's too perfect for me not to do it and not to buy it, and it was on clearance. So I was like,
even better.
You have
it's a sign.
to. You have to. So that was the first piece that I bought for this cosplay. But essentially, what you'd need for it and what I ended up buying is a long black wig, which is just Vax signature. Just any long black wig would work. You could find one on Amazon or, you know, a super nice wig from anywhere you buy wigs from.
This is just a no bangs scenario.
Yeah, no bang scenario, just a long black wig.
Okay.
And I don't think I pulled it half up, half down. I have to go back and look at the picture. But what I did do is I braided a piece of the front hair, and I put like craft beads in it. Because one of Casey's things she does with Vax, the character, is she put these colorful beads in his hair to kind of add color to him, because he's really kind of an all black, you know,
Gotcha,
type character. So she put these colorful beads in, and I really wanted to make sure that I did that because that linked it to her.
So was that the only reason that she had behind it, or did it have any sort of like significance to it? Did it called anything?
Yes, actually. So Casey actually shared this story with me, and the reason she put beads into her Vax art was essentially to add the color, like I said, because he's all kind of a black outfit. But also, there's a part of Vax that kind of relates to ravens. And so the thing with ravens is they like to collect shiny things and things like that. So the beads are kind of a call to that as well, which is really neat. And she's really, I believe, the first artist to use beads in Vax's hair. So the fact that I did that really connected it to that specific artist.
That's cool.
Which I loved and I wanted to include. So I made sure to put the beads in the hair. And then in this picture, it was just a plain kind of t-shirt underneath the cardigan. So all I did was I got a plain gray tee with a little neck detailing to it from Lucky Brand, I think is where the shirt came from, because a friend worked there and he got it on clearance. Like, I'm a clearance shopper. I love me some clearance. So what can you do? The cardigan came from Old Navy, men's clearance section, but you could use, in the actual art, it's a duster cardigan, and the cardigan I used was not a long duster cardigan, but the colors worked really well.
Which is more of the readability versus accuracy thing. It may not be totally accurate, but everybody recognizes what you're going after.
Yes, because of the color factor and the beads, I think is what sold that.
Yeah.
And it was plain black jeans. I already had a pair of black jeans with a zipper detail, which kind of added to that, I don't want to say emo type look, but that emo type look.
Yeah, like, yeah. Bird dad look.
Yeah, bird dad, exactly. You don't even know what I'm talking about, but yes. And then I don't think the shoes were showing in the art piece, so I just thought, this is a comfy dad look. I can wear whatever comfy shoe I want. So I put some Toms I already had with it. You could use whatever comfy shoe you have. And the other detail was there was a necklace he was wearing in this art piece that had raven feathers and the beads.
Oh, okay.
So what I did is I just got kind of like a shoelace type material so that I could make the length what I wanted it. And then I put the beads on either side in the color combinations that were in the art. And I bought like a real cheap bag of raven craft feathers from Amazon.
Yeah.
And I pulled out my hot glue gun and I did the very little bit of crafting I could possibly do, which is hot glue some feathers onto a necklace.
That's the true sign of a closet cosplay.
Oh, yes.
Is how much hot glue are you using?
How much hot glue are you using? Yeah. So that was essentially all I did. Mm-hmm. And it came together really well. I did pull some freckles into my makeup and tried to look kind of as androgynous as possible because I wasn't exactly doing a gender bend, but I just wanted to kind of look as similar to this art piece as I could. So I did kind of a simpler makeup look with just some little freckles for detailing because there were freckles in the art piece, which is not super difficult to do. You can look at a tutorial on how to put freckles on your face. It's not that hard. And then my friend, we were at MomoCon is where I first wore this cosplay in Atlanta, Georgia. So, and the reason we were there is because Critical Role had a bunch of panels there. Like the cast was going to be there.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yes. And they were doing signings and all like meet the cast type stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I want to go and cosplay because they're going to be there. So that was the reason I did it there at MomoCon. And it was early in the morning. We had just walked in. We were in like the lobby type area. And I wanted a picture because I just wanted to post on Twitter. I was like, I did this. I want proof, So my friend actually took the picture. And so he had the art piece pulled up on the phone. And he got me in like the perfect position and lighting.
Posed you.
Yeah, like basically posed me. He's like, we got to get this as close as we can. So the picture turned out incredible.
Yeah, I saw the picture. The side by side was great.
Yeah, and so like we got the detailing, the lighting, and the angles and all that like really great. So it really did look spot on.
That's
even
awesome.
if you actually saw me, it might not have looked that great. But the picture was awesome. And so I ended up posting the picture onto Twitter, which is where, a lot of the cast interacts with their fans because they're amazing. And tweeted at Casey and part of the cast and just kind of thanked people for that kind of thing. And Casey retweeted me and she was like, this is amazing. And Liam retweeted me and he's like, everybody needs a good cardigan. And I was like, totally agree. Yeah. So that was really awesome. Some of the cast liked it. And I believe later on, either at a panel they were doing or at a signing, they recognized me. They're like, oh,
that's so cool.
You posted that photo. So it was just a really neat experience to kind of be able to cosplay that character from an artist, which I'd never done before. It's a very interesting experience, especially to see the artist excited about something you've cosplayed, which you're an artist yourself.
Yeah, that's right. I'd make a doodle every now and then. That's true.
So I'm sure you can kind of attest to.
Oh yeah, people love it when your fans or people interested in the community take something that you've created and bring it to life. And so it's so cool to see you do that. And it was so cool for her to see you do that, and the cast to see you do that, and that it was recognized and readable and looked great was awesome. I think it was a really good one to choose for that con. Yeah, no, absolutely loved my time at MomoCon. It was a great time. Had a lot of fun with being recognized on Twitter and then being recognized at the con itself by critters. It was just amazing.
So overall, success.
Success.
Yes.
Sounds great.
So now tell me about Persephone from Lore Olympus.
Lore Olympus, that's correct. Lore Olympus is a webcomic that is currently hosted on Webtoons by Rachel Smythe, who is a magnificent artist. She does very watercolory, and I mean colory. The Persephone herself is hot pink colored.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So what Lore Olympus is, which I know you're not totally familiar with, it is a modern retelling of the love story, which it's actually a love story in this one as opposed to anything else. A love story between the goddess of spring, Persephone, and the god of the underworld, Hades. Yeah, it's definitely a little different. Everybody's kind of familiar with the Greek gods tropes, which makes the comic very approachable. But because of her art style and her trend towards the modern, a lot of the costumes, it's not what you would expect. It's not the flowing Greek robes. There's some of that in there, but for the most part, Persephone is walking around in little short shorts and a tank top or a dress, and that's one of the ones that I chose to do. So one of the dresses that is featured shows up first in episode 38, which I will not spoil for anyone.
Yes, please don't. I haven't seen
I definitely suggest reading it, yeah. But so in episode 38, she's wearing this, it is a white dress that is a bodycon dress, which means that it is form-fitting. It is long-sleeved. It's got a little keyhole up on the chest, and it has a big bow in the back. And it's about knee length with a slit, and she's wearing some white heels. And she's gotten, throughout the comic, while she's wearing this dress, her hair goes from up to down, which is actually very convenient because that means that you could have a short wig with it up, or you could have a long wig with it down, and you're going to be accurate and readable no matter what. So the aesthetic basically for that character is a lot of pink and white. And so for me, that's mainly what I wanted to touch on, because for me a lot is I'm less interested in being totally completely accurate than I am for being readable, especially since, as I said, Persephone is literally hot pink in the comic, which you'll see a lot of people cosplay with body paint. But I had another cosplay I had to do that night, so I couldn't commit to the full body paints.
Couldn't paint yourself hot pink that day.
Couldn't paint myself hot pink, was not going to work for the character that I was going to have to be later that evening. So what that meant that I had to do is I had to make sure that my character was very readable, especially because if you are not going to commit to the full body paint, people have to be able to sit there and recognize who you are, because part of the fun of going to a con is people recognizing you. So obviously the most important part for me, or one of the most important things for me, was getting the wig, which I got a lace front pink wig. One of the things that is flexible with that character too is there are varying shades of pink that you can work with. You can go for a light pink, you can go for a fuchsia. It's sort of, as long as you're in the pink range, you're pretty good. So I made sure to get this nice lace front pink wig, and I don't know how to style wigs, so.
I do not either. That is not my game.
Right. So again, we're closet cosplayers. I'm trying to go as simple as I can while still hitting the notes on the character. So I went for her hair down, because as I said, throughout those couple episodes where she's wearing this, you can get away with that. So I went with that. And the dress itself is very specific. The one that I found that was very close, it was a long sleeve white bodycon by a company called Unobox, which I've never heard of in my life. Unobox, but you can find it on Amazon. Literally everything that I have bought, and you'll see in the links, for this cosplay, I got off Amazon. I did not get anything out in the real world. I am one of the laziest shoppers you will encounter. But so this dress, the only differences really between this dress is you don't have a slit. Not really a huge deal.
Not a deal breaker.
It's not a deal breaker. Again, the most important things that I thought, in my opinion, were it's a long sleeve white bodycon dress, and it had a keyhole. Now, it did have a line, like another piece of fabric that split that keyhole. But again, readability. Mm-hmm. Long sleeve, white dress, keyhole, bodycon.
Right.
Those are the things I hit on. And I feel like that came across really well. And then I just had She has plain white high heels, super easy to come across.
Oh, yeah.
Found some comfortable ones that I was able to be in all day long. Not a big deal.
You're amazing for being able to wear heels at a con because
not for you.
I haven't done it yet. We'll see in the future if it happens.
am very much a sacrifice function for fashion person. I will do that. And I did. Well, to be honest, my feet were fine the entire time.
Yeah.
So it is, if comfort is important to you, definitely feel free to make substitutions.
Oh yeah, white flats could have worked. Yeah.
White flats would have worked just as fine if it worked out that way. So one of the things I did do a little bit different that was not in the comic itself was I did make some additions that sort of dressed it up. And again, did a little bit more readability on it. So I found this purse on Amazon that I thought was just perfect.
It's an amazing purse.
It's
guys.
beautiful, and there'll be links in galleries. You'll see this. So again, Amazon purchase. It's like $30 purse. So it's like a white square, and on it are pink and pale bluish gray flowers, which, if you know the Lore Olympus, and if you don't, I'll let you know. Obviously, I've said that Persephone is pink. Hades is represented with blues and grays.
Oh, perfect.
Right. So it was this very beautiful sign of kind of symbolism for these flowers, and I had a corsage that matched. And my fiance was playing Hades, and so he...
Love a couple cosplay.
Yeah, so my fiance was playing Hades, and I gave him a little boutonniere that looked the exact same. He's very good to humor me because he's not as into this as I am. But so those were some more flower notes, so that didn't just look like I am some random person showing up in a pink wig and a white outfit. One of the other things that I did that, unfortunately, because I washed my hands before I walked out, I did not get to wear these in the con, but I liked them a lot. They were press-on nails that were like a soft pink and then had little white flowers on them.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, and they looked really, really cute. And I'll still provide the link to those in the show notes, but that was just another little touch. Because again, I want my character to be red more than it to be accurate. And especially if you look at Rachel's art, sometimes in the same comic, the outfit doesn't even look the same. And one of the most recent ones, she's wearing, a dress and some shoes that in one picture has bows and in the next picture it doesn't. And so it's like, kind of take your pick.
Right.
Which is great for the Closet Cosplay because it means that you can adapt and nobody's going to be like, well, it's not completely accurate.
Right.
Because that's not what you're going for. But so that's what I did for her, and I actually ran into a Minth, which is a red river nymph from the comic, and Hecate, which is, I can't remember exactly what she is in mythology. I know that she,
What color is she?
She was like a bluish color, and Mint was red. And we ran into each other, and people recognized me, even though I didn't have, the body color or anything like that. Like, people still recognized who I was. Now, I did do a little bit of pink blush around my face, but not any more than you would see anybody out in the real world.
You weren't clowny.
No, I was not clowny. And so we took some pictures together, and it was so funny because we had ran into each other and we were just taking pictures for us, but so many people are really getting into Lore Olympus, and when you start to see a group of cosplayers, you kind of become an attraction
right.
all in of yourself. So we stood there for a good 15-20 minutes where people were just showing up and taking pictures of us together because they thought we were a cosplay group, which we weren't, but it was, it was Hades, Persephone's, Minth, and Hecate, and we're all together, and it was really, really cool. And they Media_Rose and Hunter Chick, they're both the ones that were Minth and Hecate, and I will provide links to their Instagrams because they are great cosplayers as well, and you guys should definitely check them out. But they let me know about the Facebook group. There's an official Facebook group out there for Lore Olympus, and they're like, hey.
Love it.
Yeah, I was like, so do you mind if we post these pictures on it? And I was like, no, of course not. Please go right ahead. So I joined it and posted my Persephone cosplay, and it ended up getting about 700 likes
Woo!
On it. Yeah, which was very surprising because, again, my representation wasn't 100% accurate, but people really have an appreciation for even differing takes. Like, people loved the art that was done for Vax. representing the character sometimes and adding your own flavor is part of the fun. It kind of makes it your own creation.
And you get to be creative in the sense of how do you see this character
Yeah.
or what would be fun to add. Like that purse is just so cute to me. I love the purse, guys. Don't know anything about Lore Olympus, love the purse.
Yeah, it's a good addition, and that's part of the fun of doing the Closet Cosplay kind of mentality, is you're looking to go to a con, be recognized, look awesome, be comfortable,
Have some fun.
have some fun.
Yeah.
And just go with it. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we both managed to do in both of our little cosplays.
Absolutely. And we would love to hear from you guys. We love sharing cosplays we've done in the past, but we also want to help you guys with cosplay ideas that you have. So if you have any ideas for cosplays that you would like to see featured on a future episode of Closet Cosplay, reach out to us, let us know. Also, don't forget to check out our show notes. We have links, galleries, descriptions for all of the things we've discussed in this episode. And you got anything else?
I don't got anything else except to see you next time.
See you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.